Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing with a deck called Warcaller's Nuke. Essentially, it's Boros Nuke slapped on top of a Warcaller's Swarm deck, a Boros Warcaller deck. Yeah, man, I think this is a great step forward. I've tried it out. It has very promising results. If this sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, voted 2024's Golden Voice by Your Mom Magazine, Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon SuckIt. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters. And what's the story behind this deck? I got a comment from Omni Viking saying, "Hello, good doctor. Have you considered making a deck of Boros with Devilish Valet and Gleeful Demolition?" And I said, you know what? That sounds fantastic. As a matter of fact, I thought I already played that deck at some point. So I went back to take a look. Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it anywhere. So I said, all right, I'm going to put it together. I put together this mono red deck, and it sucked. It sucked. I think I won twice with it just because my opponent decided to give up on the first turn because he didn't like what was in his hand. So that was the end of that. So then I went out to say, well, Aether Hub, what do you have? What do you have that has Devilish Valet and Gleeful Demolition in it? And I only found one deck within the last month that had that particular recommendation. It was a Boros Tokens deck put out by the MTGA-Assistant-Meta. That's what we got. So then I took that deck and I got rid of a bunch of cards and I just tuned up the Devilish Valet a little bit because it was only playing with one before. I got it up to 3. I think I messed around with some other stuff a tiny bit. So anyways, it's pretty much the Boros Tokens deck with me taking out like 6 cards and adding in 6 more cards, something like that. All right, so anyways, I will put a link to my deck, which will then include a link back to the original deck, so you can be aware of all the different kinds of decks and how we can make changes and how this one in particular works. All right, so then what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We're going to talk a little bit how this deck should work, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. All right, so let's talk about what we got going on there. This guy gains life every time a creature comes into play. This guy gives you let's just say, an artifact token. This guy turns artifacts into 3/3 goblins, or you can destroy your opponents and they get nothing. So 3/1/1 goblins. Sorry, that's what you get out of the deal, right? This guy comes into play, puts out an artifact token. So these guys are the combo right there, right? You get either of these two out. You can take this guy and turn that little tiny guy into 3 dudes. Yeah, it's great. It's great for 1 mana, right? This one shoots dudes equal to the amount of guys you have in play, so that's cool. After a certain point, then it becomes a half Glorious Anthem, the good half, power. This puts out 2 dudes. This guy puts out a bat in itself, and if itself gets killed, it puts out another bat. So we just got guys coming in all over the place. Whenever you attack, you put out a soldier, and its power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Devilish Valet, every time a creature comes into the battlefield, you double the Devilish Valet's power. Anytime you see the word double, you know that's combo-ness right there. So we'll talk about this later on as to how we're going to use them. This one, when it comes into play, all your creatures get +1/+0 and haste. If you get up to 5, you could have put out 2 knights ahead of time, so more dudes. Amin Pakal. Whenever a non-gnome attacks, you put a Popo counter on her, and then you create X 1/1 colors gnome artifact creature tokens tapped and attacking, where X is equal to the number of Popo counters on Amin Pakal. So she gets bigger every turn, and you get more artifact tokens out of the deal. War Leader's Call gives all your dudes +1/+1, like a Glorious Anthem, and then whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you deal damage to each opponent. So anytime a creature comes into play, you potentially dealing a point of damage to your opponent, and you're gaining a life out of the deal. Mondrak puts out twice as many. Anytime you put out a token, you put out twice that many tokens. So if you're putting out soldiers or bats or these little dudes or whatever, yeah, Mondrak puts out twice, which means 2 points of damage or 2 points of life. It's all fantastic. Whenever this comes out, you put this out, you get a little artifact that says that its power and toughness is equal to the number of artifacts or creatures you control. You got a lot of token guys, you got a lot of artifacts, this guy's going to be swole. And we got the Knight-Errant, where you can use Convoke to put it out. And we got lots of little guys, so we should be able to do it. For each guy that we use to pay for it, we get to draw that many dudes from the top 6 cards of the library and put it directly into our hand. And Aurelia, Vigilant, Haste, Flying, 4/4, which is great right there. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, which we're probably going to do, you draw a card. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, it deals 3 damage to each of your opponents, and you gain 3 life. It's a little vampirism from a hopped up angel there. There's only one in the deck. It's there for fun. All right, so what are we going to do? Yeah, it's all about getting out things like basically slam out your dudes, get out a Min Pakal and maybe Adeline, keep dudes coming. If you get Devilish Valet out, then you'll be able to pump him up a bunch. It doesn't take much to make him go crazy. And gosh, with Min Pakal, Devilish Valet is going to go nuts if you can get those 2 to survive a couple of turns. War Leader's Call can finish everybody off, provided you get it out. And yeah, Mondrak helps to maximize your stuff. There's a double. There's a double. That's combo-ness right there, baby. What else do we have? We have the ability to put out creatures this way. We got ability to put out creatures this way. So yeah, we're packing for elephant on this deck. Anyways, do your best to swarm and make use of what swarms provide you. All right, so that's it. Now, before we go out, let's do as we do every night. Let us say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black King Toxrill, who dwells within the dark chambers of our hearts, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we are playing against Wild Stallions. 1, 2, 3. All right. Don't have anything to cast this on yet. These guys are artifacts, right? All right. I might want to turn one of you into 3 little goblins. That'll take a while to get up to, though. Nope. Don't need any noisy horses around here. Oh, look, it's blue again. Auto pay. All right, there we go. We got a guy out. And we're going to leave it because we need to convert that into some goblins. All right, if he cancels this, then I will stop this game. All right, there you go. And see, I get up to 4 right now. We might as well race forward a little bit. I can't make anybody super hasty at this point. All right, let's go, man. Did I say thinking? That's ridiculous. Let's give it a nice swipe. We'll get out some goblins here. If he decides to clear the board, I will be super pissed. All right, we got enough to put out Knight-Errant. Let's do that. Here's the counter we've been waiting for. All right, well, it's one less counter we have to deal with. Another counter? Come on, man. Just play your game. Oh, okay, I can rage in with everything I got. Additional one's not going to do me any good. Let's just pump. We got to land out of the deal. Pump again. 2 lands out of the deal. How ridiculous. Come on, man. I didn't attack when the guys did. Oh, these guys are all attacking, aren't they? All right, you're going to Planeswalker? Nope, you're just going to put out a Samurai is what you're going to do. That's 4 points of life he's getting. That sucks. 17. And our guys are all swole a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7. Which means you can put an Adeline and a Recruiter on the next turn. He's going to gain 4 out of the deal, whatever we do here. You're surprised about how much I don't care about that angel. All right, he's at 21. All right, I think we're going to have to kill the Wandering Emperor at this point. Yikes. What are you doing to me? One, two, three. Now he's got a singleton in his hand. He's drawn. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's hoping for something better. Wandering Emperor, you can't use it. All right, she's out of the picture. And you're going to have some fun here in just a second. Devilish Valet is going to go nuts. All right, there's that one card. What's he going to do with it? I think we get, what, 3 out of the deal? There we go. Let's go, Boros Nuke. Let's nuke it up. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! In your face! Alright, we're playing against Tamerlan. Local area network. 2 mana. Let's play it. Nope. Stupid horses. Alright, we just gotta put out the slow land. I can put out white, but no matter what, I'd be going slow until turn 3 on these other things, and that's not my bag, baby. Alright, let's do this. And we'll do a little of that. Alright, we got some tokens to exploit if it comes down to that. No tax. That's the same point. I gained a guy for what? Losing a guy? There's not much to it. Without this additional dude, I don't know what you're doing there. Alright, this guy's got 3 mana. I don't care. We're going to waste a lot on that one guy right there. And all in. That guy wants to chump. Okay, they're all pumped now. What are you going to get there, Whiff Boy? You just going to kill Adeline straight up? Taking your own Adeline, huh? Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some life gain. And do what we do. Indestructible. I'm swarming, baby. Adeline doesn't really matter in the long run here. All right, you're down to 2. You're not going to have much life gain in there, I'll tell you that. All I got to do is sneak 2 guys past you. You're just trying to get guys out so badly. I still got more guys than you do. My turn. War Leader's call! And we win! In your face, Duffy Moon! We're going to be playing against Dragon Soul. Ot 2. Ot 2. 1, 2, 3. Good. Good. Or Dominus, man. That could work really well. I got a single, got nothing for 2. Everything costs 3. Like I said, everything costs 3. All in for 1. And we're playing against Azorius again. Horrible, horrible Azorius. Alright, let's get a little baby out there. This guy wants to start countering, though. I'm not pleased with that at all. What we gotta do is we gotta milk out the counter spells, apparently. More dudes. We get rid of there. I'm in Pakal. Unfortunately, I got 2 other of those guys. You're just gonna let me play here, huh? Alright, let's see if he counters Mondrak. Oh man, I cannot stand playing against Azorius. These guys just drive me nuts. It's one thing if they just counter things straight up. It's why do they have to think about it for 100 hours? I'm thinking next turn's Devilish Valet time. I'm only going to get 2 pumps off the deal, but it's a thing. He's thinking about going after Adeline at this point. I say I need Adeline out for my second pump. Alright, Devilish Valet, let's see what he does. Here's the nuke. Second pump, or first pump right there. We're only getting up to 4. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's enough to kill you with what I got showing. You want to do something kooky? You're going to singleton kill her, huh? Alright, well, it's 2 is all you're getting out of the deal then. We're going in. No math! Down to 3. Okay, I'm going to pop this. Get rid of one of my min calls. And we win! The swarm abides. The swarm abides. And we're playing against Jeepers Creepers. Alright, nothing to do till 3. That is disappointing in a big way. But we're going to try playing it. Alright, can't do anything. This guy's going to kill whatever guy we put out. There's a lone Adeline, standing alone, doing nothing. Time for it to just die. There we go. Alright, I'm going to lure this guy into a Devilish Valet. We'll see what he does. Question if he's just going to kill it. I know it's our nuke, but the more it just sits out there being lame, the more he'll just ignore it. That's 2 to me. Why would you bother doing it to there? You gonna shoot it for an additional? Hey, should have gone to me, man. Alright, and we'll pop this baby out. And here we go. Alright, he's down to 14. If we can keep our guys alive, we can probably do pretty darn good on this next turn with the recruiter. He's just going to shoot him in, pal. Alright, we're down to 6. 2 damage takes out him in, Bacal. Alright, we've only got 5 mana and everything costs at least 3. Let's just put out the Knight. Which leaves us with 2, which we can't do anything with, but we'll see what we can draw here. 1 and 2. Alright, we can play make-believe here. And Resolute Reinforcements is going to be our friend. Alright, there's 2 life gone. I'll tell you what, we are going to just block one of them. If you have any hope, we need the extra guy. And we got the land we need. So let's put out War Leader's Call. Let's do a little recruiting. And all in! Come on, don't have an answer. Let me kill you. Let me get you, Mr. Creeper. Come on. Just suck it. He's looking for an answer there. Suck it. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Potty Pants victory! Alright, we're playing against Halo 5. Keep. Alright, I'd like to get up to at least 3. These guys, or wherever they are. Lunarch Veteran. Pay the blood price so that he can start repaying his debt. Alright, number 2, can't use it, all in for 1. We still need to pick up that 3rd mana somewhere. Pretty standard mono red aggro. 3rd mana, come on, there we go. Alright, I'm in Bacal. Start giving me some life back. Alright, I'm up to 17. You can try to play some wicked tricks on me because I will not appreciate it. Yeah, see, that's just being a jerk, man. I hope I get a 4th mana. All right, 4th mana. Nope. All right, got 3. What's going to do us any good here? Let's just put this out. All right, so you're keeping us alive. Lunarch Veteran, good for you. We have to take it, that guy. We'll kill off that. We'll kill off one of these guys. We're down to 7. There's a bat. Still didn't get our mana that we needed so badly. This guy's got a nice butt. Let's just put him out. And swing with what we got. All right, it's at 12. We're at 9. We can play some tricks right here. I'm surprised he hasn't gone. He doesn't have any, like, instance to pump his dudes up. I keep touching the other screen. I remember in the olden days, you used to be able to touch your other screens. It didn't affect anything. Another guy. Okay, I can't do anything about him. You don't got the mana for it. We'll put this out. There's some nice life. That's very nice. And we're going to go 1, 2, kill that off. 1, 2, push that back. We'll take 5. Mana. All right, let's get out a Glory Dominus. And what are we going to attack with? We got 6. We got a flyer. Let's keep that back. Let's send in 1, 2, 3. He's down to 9. We got a couple good blockers out. Jesus. I mean, he's 1. All he has to do is shoot me with that. Yeah, there we go. Well, I could block one guy. There we go. Block. We'll take that one out. 2. All right, is that it? Do we win? 4, 5, 6, 7. And we win! I'm not sure if we were going to, but victory! All right, so here we are with Warcaller Nuke. And it was much like every good Nuke deck. Very entertaining, lots of fun. I mean, that's what I liked is that, I was able to dial up the Devilish Valet, and I was able to make more use of that than this deck was otherwise. So, congratulations, original deck. Your deck did very well with just mixing up a little bit and taking it in a slightly different direction. So, yeah, great. Good for me. Good for you. Good for everybody. All right, so let's see. Who's the MVP? Who is the most valuable player here? Despite the fact that I wanted it to be Devilish Valet, it was not Devilish Valet. Who was the best guy here? You know who I think it was? I think it was Amin Pakal. It was Amin Pakal. This deck, this particular card made everything so great. I think it's better than Adeline because Adeline only puts out one guy per turn. That's it. Just every turn, it's like, she's one baby. Bop, 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 bop. Well, Amin Pakal puts out multiples. It just grows like a Urbask's Forge. Instead of just growing by like +1 to power, this one puts out an additional baby. And it's an artifact, which for this deck, you could turn into 3 babies using Gleeful Demolition. So I got to say, I think it's Amin Pakal is that thing that makes this deck really ratchet up. So yeah, if you see an Amin Pakal hit the battlefield, you have to kill it. Because, she grows bigger as well, which is just ridiculous. There's so much value in Amin Pakal. Adeline is just right there, just a shade under it. But Amin Pakal makes everything else work so much better. Because just think, If you got a min Pakal up, you got it knocked up to maybe a 3. You put out Devilish Valet, you attack, then she's going to get basically another +1. So you're going to pump this up by 4. I mean, by herself, she is an engine that combos well with Devilish Valet. Really nice, perfectly good, and I appreciate it. So Min Pakal, between you and War Leader's Call and the Recruiter, yeah, you guys know how to get along. You are the MVP of this deck. Congratulations, you're going to Disneyland. All right, was this deck competitive? We ended up with a 67% win rate, which is fantastic. So yes, I'm going to say this is a competitive deck. There you go. Number 2, was it fun? Absolutely. You know, the only thing I didn't like about this deck is that there's a lot of stuff at 3. And there was a lot of times that in my opening hand, I got nothing but 3s. And I sat there and did nothing for the first 2 turns. And that is not right. Now, the problem is, though, this deck, there's no reason. There's no reason for it. There's tons of stuff with 1 mana or 2 mana that you can do. There's no reason that you get stuck with all 3s. So that means that's the time to mulligan. I would highly recommend it because the deal is that sitting around for the first 2 turns, that's not fun. This deck has lots of stuff to do, and you should be able to play something on the first turn. So just mulligan down, maybe once, maybe twice, but not more than that. But anyways, normally this deck was really fun. It has a nice curve to it. And by the time you get to turn 4, things are really rocking super hard. The thing I'm not a big fan of are the 5s. Those guys are hard to play. There's only 1 Aurora in there. Is she necessary? Not really. But is she fun to play as a one-off? Why not? Why not? Knight-Errant, this guy you can play for a lot cheaper and will help you find other guys. Totally worth it. I mean, if you wanted to play this thing nicely, I'd get rid of her, add another one of him maybe. Nice Convoke in this as well. But yeah, Devilish Valet was a nice addition and can work well. I was good with that. So yes, totally a fun deck. Was it interesting? Okay, this is where we have to start parsing it because I think that War Leader's Call decks are kind of boring just because as soon as we got War Leader's Call, we knew what to do with it and it became all about the Swarm. This is essentially a War Leader's Call deck. We got a Min Pakal, we got Adeline, we got Resolute Reinforcements, we got Voldaren Epicure and Gleeful Demolition. And we got Novice Inspector helping to do all that. Yeah, this is all totally this. But we also got Devilish Valet, which ramps this thing up on the interest rate by at least another knock in my thing. Putting in a Min Pakal with the War Leader's Call. Yeah, and Mondrak Dominus is essentially just a standard War Leader's Call deck. But yeah, with a lot more Devilish Valet in there. I wanted to see it. I thought it was good. I'm going to say it was slightly interesting. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just, you know, is there a bunch of stuff from Thunder Junction in here? There's lands, right? There's lands. Other than that, I'm not really seeing too much Thunder Junction. Yeah, mostly stuff from the last set. Which was, what was it? The investigation set, the Ravnica one. Karlov Manor, that's what it was called. I always remember, let's forget those names after we're out of them. All right, so there we go. Let's add this stuff up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Yes. Was it interesting? A little bit. All right, so saying that, I'm going to give this a straight A. This is a straight A deck. I'm actually going to say it was practically an A+ deck. It was a little on the boring side because it was just a standard deck that we've seen a bunch. But man, Devilish Valet has the potential to ramp this up to big time, good time use. And the rest of this cards really want to help it out. So I'd say thumbs up deck. You did a great job. Straight A. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.